One day I was out for a routine practice ride, getting some street time in, and then, as usual, headed for some dirt practice. After completing my street practice, it was time to go play in the dirt. And this is, or actually was, my playground. It's a large vacant lot with a variety of different terrains to ride on. Now I've logged some hours on this patch of dirt, gaining valuable experience in soft sand, gravel, rocks, navigating windy trails, going up little hills, weaving through trees and brush. And yet this place still held challenges for me to conquer. However, as I reached the south entrance, I noticed some things had changed. There was a sign posted that read, "Danger, construction area, no trespassing." Which wasn't going to stop me, since these signs can be purchased just about anywhere and posted just about anywhere by just about anybody. And as luck would have it, seems I found that just about anybody. Enter the hall monitor. And next, this asshat and I are going to have a conversation about the new rules regarding this property.
I'm sorry?
Are you just hiking around?
I'm just...
Are you going to use the dirt bike in here?
It's not a dirt bike.
Okay, no, I know.
It's a dual sport. I've been here several times and I don't get crazy and I'm not a...
Yeah, hiking is one thing in here, but using motorized bikes because I grew up with the 350 Kawasaki, a little different than this. And but for fire danger and everything else, so it would be great to hike in here, but just don't do the bikes in here.
Do you own this place?
Huh?
Do you own this place?
No, but I'm on the board.
We're on the board. Last year it didn't seem to be a problem.
No,
this
I know.
Year it didn't seem
you know
to be
why
a problem.
they had to do it? Because people would go up there on the ridge line and have kegers and fires, and that was really dangerous.
Yeah.
And so the only way the police can monitor that and stop the kegers on the ridge line is if it's posted for no trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to hike around, if it was me, I'd hike around, but probably not with a dirt bike or not with a bike.
Yeah, well, not interested in hiking around.
By this point, I'd had it with this board member, and it was time for me to leave, but not before I... Just kidding, I left him completely unharmed. Oops, I forgot to edit out that entirely unrelated clip. So let's take a moment to break this down. But first I'd like to mention that I didn't actually stop to talk to this fellow. I always stop or slow down considerably when I encounter a dog walker. This is for my safety and the safety of the dog. This is especially important when the dog is not on a leash. Getting back to it, we'll start with a sign. Remember that it says, "Danger, construction area, no trespassing." It doesn't list any city, state, or county ordinance, nor does it threaten prosecution for violators. So this sign holds absolutely no power. It's more like a scarecrow in the middle of a cornfield. But let's pretend for a moment that this no trespassing sign is valid. No trespassing would mean no trespassing. And of course, that would include partygoers with kegs and fires, dirt bikes, motherfucker, but also hikers and board members that want to walk their dog. And while we're on the subject of board members, this board member admittedly does not own the property. Now, I probably should have asked what board this guy is on, but I assumed he was from an HOA from one of the neighborhoods that border this property, which gives him no authority and gives me the authority to tell him to go eat a bowl of dicks, especially since I didn't have any kegs or fires strapped to my motorcycle. So this leads me to one conclusion, and that's that this board member and his gang of thugs wish to keep this patch of land all to themselves. So no drunk people with matches, understandable, and no motorcycles. Only hikers and apparently dog walkers are allowed in this no trespassing zone. But wait a minute, why wouldn't motorcycles be allowed? He never gave a good reason, so I'm confused. Obviously, I'm not there to throw a fiery keg party. What is this guy's angle? Well, I think I have a good idea. A motorcycle, especially one with not one but 2 cameras, can be somewhat of a liability, especially when the majority of the dog walkers I've encountered here neglect to use a leash, which is illegal. And in this set of clips here, all from the same day, same ride, in a span of right around 20 minutes, 4 out of 5 people walking their dogs were walking their dogs without a leash. So, as you can imagine, these individuals aren't keen on being videotaped doing something illegal. And it could get even worse if one of these untethered dogs was to attack me, especially if an attack was recorded on camera. So the question remains, can this guy deny me access to this property? No. Would I be ticketed by the police if I were to enter this property? Likely not. You see, for this to be an actual no trespassing zone, the true owner of the property would have to file a petition with the courts. And when that process was completed, the owner would be provided with a certain criteria for the signs to be posted. Criteria that the current signs don't even come close to meeting. However, out of respect to whoever really does own the property, I will not be returning to this little patch of land. After all, there are plenty of other places to get kicked out of. And I believe I've already found one. It will be featured in an upcoming video. And as for our board member, I would like to remind YouTube that this individual was not harmed in any way, shape, or form. Any questionable footage is simply satire, and at worst, an expression of my disdain for people who try to take control of things that don't belong to them.